Some claim that the technology to send men to the moon was lacking, or that the Van Allen radiation belts, solar flares, solar winds, coronal mass ejections, and cosmic rays made such a trip impossible. If that's the case, then how did the United States pull off one of mankind's greatest accomplishments? Well, good thing you came to the Conspiracy Outpost. We'll tear this Moonspiracy apart piece by piece until we get to the bottom of this rocky history. I'm your host, Casey.
I'm Mike.
I'm Matt.
I'm Jaded Joe.
So the United States, they created the Apollo program known as Project Apollo. This was the third United States human spaceflight program carried out by NASA. And during this time, they successfully landed humans on the moon from the years 1968 to 1972. But the program ran from 1961 to 1972.
Nice.
So we're not talking about Apollo Creed?
No.
Well,
No.
Damn. Well, I have nothing to say about this.
Well,
I was going to say when they first got started, I think it was the Apollo 1 was the one that the people got lit up in. Like
That's
just doing
generally the
probably.
first number they start with is 1, so yeah.
Well, I wasn't sure if it was that one because you know how they.
Yeah, no, I was just playing with it.
let's hear about the origins of this conspiracy.
All right. So the moon landing conspiracy came shortly right after the I guess NASA aired it. Well, I guess one of them aired it. Oh, whoever the fuck aired it. It came out shortly after. People were like, they didn't believe it right off the bat. Like half the people, they're like, oh no, that's bullshit. There's no way that fucking shit happened, you know?
Mhm.
Sorry.
I'm just going to say naturally, when something out of the ordinary happens, people are in disbelief. I'm not.
I mean, this one wasn't too out of the ordinary. There'd already been, space flights documented.
Yeah, but nobody was like landing.
It was building up to this, like it was in the paper, so it wasn't just like, oh, all of a sudden,
I know, but nobody was like landing on like a moon or anything.
It was
like,
kind of crazy.
salute you.
All of a sudden, because they were basically, the space race, during the Cold War. They were trying to beat Russia, and Russia just kept beating the United States, They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna put a man in orbit.
They're like, you know what? We'll put someone on the
like
fucking moon, assholes.
I don't like the divide races. I believe space races are just as good as any race here on Earth.
Anyway, Soviet cosmonaut Yuri. I don't know how to say his last name.
Gagarin?
It's hard. Gagarin, maybe. I don't know. He was the first one to fly into space. Yeah, and that's what led to the Americans being afraid of the Soviets advancing faster to have space superiority over us.
And one of the most plausible. I think that's the most plausible, like.
Well, that's fact
out of all
there.
The conspiracy stuff.
That's not a conspiracy.
Well, no. I'm saying I was saying it seems like the most plausible reason to fake a moon landing
would be the flex.
Like, yeah, it'd be like,
America
did
the
it
flex
first,
on Russia,
up, bro. I'm not saying that it's like 100% whatever. It's like, yeah, that is facts, that whatever you said, Casey. But I'm saying that, that seems like the most reason why you would fake something like that. It'd be like, dude, America's the greatest, home of the free, land of the brave, land of the moon. Landed on the moon, land of the free.
Yeah,
exactly. It was the thing. It's like, no, we did it first. Okay, Russians, stop trying, kind of thing. There's no point. We already did it.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't. So they wouldn't push their technology faster and faster. They wouldn't. They wouldn't go into like a crunch mode where they try to push their technology that fast. Because if we said we already did it, we gave evidence that we already did it. They'd be like, okay, it's already been done, but let's still try to do it at a slower pace. And so. I believe if there was a conspiracy behind that, I'd be like, no, we already did it kind of thing. And then we could still be able to keep moving faster to try to actually get the technology to do it.
Hey,
which Apollo mission actually made it up to the moon?
Apollo 11 was the first one.
Okay. That's where this starts. Is in 1969, supposedly the Apollo 11 got up into orbit, landed on the fucking moon, planted a flag, fucked off
What was
back
the
down
crew?
to Earth.
What was the crew?
What year?
Buzz
did this
Aldrin,
tell
Neil
you?
Armstrong.
Mrs. Nesbitt.
Yeah.
Mike, what year did I tell you? Sorry.
I don't know. I know it's in 1969.
Okay, so because I was gonna say I might have told you the wrong year, but
yeah, but
the
that's where this happens.
crew
And
flight
there's
was on October 11th, 1968.
It's a very sexual,
Apollo 7.
a sexually generous year, by the way.
And there's a couple different theories on how it was faked. One being it was faked from NASA, so they can secure additional funding and not go out of business. Other one was it was secure. It was faked to rub it in Russia's face. Another one, it was faked to. You got the last one, Casey? I can't remember.
Hold on, give me 1 second. I had to scroll down to that.
I know the Flat Earth Society said it was faked and it was funded by Disney and directed by Stanley Kubrick.
It wasn't done by Pixar?
No.
So you're telling me it could be in the next Kingdom Hearts game?
Yeah. No, I have like fucking like 6 pages of just conspiracies through them. So
they said it wasn't flying; it was falling with style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the space race one, the NASA funding that you brought up.
What was it? Neil Armstrong and then something Alderaan?
Buzz
Lightyear.
Star Wars.
Lightyear.
Buzz Aldrin.
What was the other guy's name?
Buzz Aldrin.
Buzz Aldrin. Yeah. Yeah. It really. I mean, you got 2 different Disney things. There you got Buzz, and then you got Alderaan from Star Wars. I mean, it's all owned by Disney, right? It was a ploy back then.
I got the Vietnam conspiracy.
Oh yeah, that they did it to draw attention from the war in Vietnam. That's the other one I was thinking of.
The NASA photos conspiracy.
Yeah.
So
which one should we talk about first?
Filming camera. Oh, some mechanical stuff, like discrepancies from their flights too, like that people put out. But if we want, we could let's give some accurate information about the first flights, because I was all over the place.
For sure.
With that.
Yeah.
So
The
first
Infinity and Beyond
flight was October 11th, 1968, aboard the Apollo 7. The last flight was December 19th, 1972, aboard the Apollo 17. Now, the men walking on the moon, that would be Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. That was aboard the Apollo 11 on July 20th, 1969. And that's when man walked on the moon, fellas.
Yep.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
So a lot of people had a problem with.
Oh, we forgot about Michael Collins. Sorry, he was in orbit around the moon. Why?
Oh yeah. One of the reasons why people think it happened was because the flag had a bar in it, right? They were not convinced of how the flag moved.
There's a
they also weren't convinced by the lighting of the flag, or not the flag, the lighting of everything, because the sun was whatever. But people don't understand like.
I can tell you what the flag. The flag was the pole that hung that raised the flag. It was vertical, and there's a horizontal bar on top of it, and it was actually pushed. The flag isn't made of like just regular cloth thing. It was already like concaved in weird areas and like pushed and everything, and so it was actually looked more crinkly. And so the flag
he was moving it.
Yeah, and he was moving it.
Yeah, and I think if you see in the 2 different pictures, you can tell like they're 2 different frames. Yeah. I don't know which astronaut was standing next to it, but like you could tell like he shifted his shoulders, so it's obviously he's not standing in the same spot. Let's see. It
was your boy Buzz Lightyear. He saluted the American flag on the moon. Space Ranger, not toys. You're a sad, strange little man.
Oh, what did you start off with that, Matthew?
Joseph was saying something about the lights. People didn't like the lights on it.
Oh,
if it came from a studio, people said that the light was projected from something similar to like a set.
So, did you guys watch that video on YouTube that NVIDIA did to prove like the moon landing wasn't faked?
I did not.
Okay, so
Tell
if
us about it.
You guys go if you guys go watch it, I'll probably link it into the description for everyone too. You know.
Well, let's hear a little bit about it.
So no,
We don't want to watch it.
I'm saying I'm linking for the
eyeballs have been sucked from their sockets.
But so he opens up. I don't know who the guy is, but he's talking about the video, and they were their new platform. So they open up the video, and on the screen it's just a picture of. It's supposed to be the picture of the guy coming off the rover, and well, Neil coming off the rover, and he's like, he gives background information about the moon, and then he goes into it, and he's like, so we went into it. So he's like, we rendered all the moon dust on the moon. We rendered everything how it would be, to physics as we know it, blah, blah, blah. So he zooms out, and it's not a picture of the moon landing. This is their generated world that they created of the moon, right? And so he's like,
I don't believe that.
He's like, the shadows. He's like, people complain about the shadows on the moon because there's shadows going in every direction, and the lighting. He's like, if the sun was behind the lunar rover, how was who was it? Buzz's, because Neil was taking a picture of Buzz coming off the rover, and he was like, why is his suit illuminated? If he's on the backside, he should be casting.
Well, yeah,
shadow,
that's what
right?
people were trying to say to prove the thing is that if the sun was the only light source, that shadows would be parallel. But Professor Oja.
Well, I was gonna say this video that I'm talking about, Joseph.
Yeah.
He was like, so he turned off. He's like, if light was like that, absolute, he turned it all off, and he's like, this is what it would look like, and then the picture basically was black, and there was like some light in the background corners. And he's like, but you have to account for all the lunar dust that reflects the light off onto the surface of the moon. And so he did that, and it lit up everything. And then he's like, as you can see, like after that lit up, like the light was bouncing off of Buzz's suit, so lighting up his suit. And then there was backlighting because Neil's suit's obviously being lit up by the sun, so there's more lighting going on. And yeah, he just goes into all this detail. Like, he pulls up everything. He, like, any discrepancies, like, oh, yeah, well, let me just turn this off, show you how that's supposed, like, what people think it's supposed to look like.
I'm proud of you, cowboy.
As it is to what it actually is,
Well, yeah, like, Neil Armstrong hit Buzz's helmet, and he's like, my eyeballs could have been sucked from my sockets. Like, it was a very serious thing.
Did that really happen?
No, that's from
Toy Story.
He said, excuse me. I think the word you're searching for is Space Ranger.
Professor Oja or whatever explains, you have all seen this phenomenon yourself, where because of perspective, parallel lines appear to be non-parallel. If you're trying to reduce onto a two-dimensional plane, a three-dimensional situation, you can make lines do all sorts of weird things. Artists have been using it for centuries.
Yep.
Is like an argument thing to the whole lighting thing.
You guys want to hear some fun fact about some artists, real quick?
They're all drug addicts.
Well, yeah.
Or deaf.
No, they. I think it was Picasso. Who's the one who did the painting? Like,
That's Helen Keller. That's the face she makes because she can't hear.
Anyway, they. I guess a lot of these famous painters back in the day, they had a rare effect. I don't know, some bullshit in their eye, where they were able to like see like a 3D room, and they can like flip it to make it 2D so they can draw it better. Everything will be flat to them, like everything looks flat to them, so they can do all their.
Are you saying that these people belonged in Charles Xavier's school for gifted?
Oh my god!
Students?
Yeah.
Not the coolest power in the world. Very cool.
Are you talking about like forced perspective?
Hmm.
I don't know what it's called.
Anyways, what do you guys think? Do you think it was a hoax? Do you think the moon landing was faked? Do you think we went to the moon?
I believe that we did, because the amount of fucking people you would have to have inside this conspiracy alone.
Yeah.
They said there was more than 400 there was more than 400,000 people who worked on this project alone.
Dude, just looking this up on line, I'm not saying you believe every little thing you see online, but it's like this is one of those conspiracies that literally there's more debunkings than there are regular fucking conspiracy things.
It's been debunked so many times.
Yeah,
I'd like to believe that
people cling on to it because it's so fucking old. I'm not saying that you should believe it just because there's more things saying it's not true than it is, whatever. But
and that's when you should.
It just seems like something people are clinging on to.
Why is all this anti-information out about this stuff?
And like with the tax dollars, think about all the years of academy training wasted.
That was a rainbow, man. No, I'm just kidding. No, dude, this is what I'm going to tell you right now because NASA's dope as fuck because we had Nazi scientists doing stuff. Like, this is all, like Operation Paperclip stuff.
Yeah.
No, like we literally steal the best scientists for everything. So that's why I believe that it's not that fucking hard of a concept to believe that we had people doing that shit.
What conspiracists say...
Conspiracy theorists.
What conspiracy theorists say for the rebuttal for your guys' that argument is they said NASA would have I can't even say the word. NASA would have had a small group of people who knew what the fuck was going on, and then they would have just, kept it like under wraps, but tricked everybody else.
Here's my biggest thing.
Well, and here's NASA's response.
Here's the biggest
I just want you to know that even though you tried to terminate me, revenge is not an idea we promote on my planet.
But we're not on my planet, are we? No.
You just look at fucking.
That's the thing too, though, Casey, is that yeah, I get that, and it's like if we did do whatever, that they would have shed light on it this far. They wouldn't just be like, "Oh, it's an embarrassing time in history. Let's just keep rolling with the lie." It's like, no, yeah, dude, we lied, so Russia couldn't be the first ones on the moon. Like they just say something about it at this point because it's not one of those big ass conspiracies that's gonna hurt anybody if you shed light on it.
Yeah.
Other than maybe, I mean, what's Putin gonna do in between his fucking weird cancer fucking treatments and fucking whatever? I don't know.
If I were to believe this theory, I would believe that it was done to try to seem like a thing to sway the Cold War. I definitely believe it was to rub it in Russia's face if it were if it were fake. I mean, we did rub it in Russia's face, but if it were fake, that's why I'd believe it.
That's the only thing that I think would be a viable reason for them to fake it. Is that's the only thing that makes complete sense. Everything else is asinine.
I still think so we could just rub in Russia's face. Be like,
in which case, they shed light on it now because there's nothing to be afraid of now about it. Like there's nothing to be whatever.
Fly around this room with my eyes closed.
Yeah, I still think it's a fucking wild theory.
It's a wild ass theory.
One that it was done on a sound stage in the 60s. Like, come on, dude. Have you seen 60s movies? They fucking suck.
Yeah, they're garbage. They're complete. You see little fucking
like
NASA does have one of the biggest. NASA does have the biggest film studio in the world.
What is the big? Casey, do you have any information on the highest budget movie from the 60s, sci-fi wise? Because I guarantee that it's gonna look like garbage. You're gonna see the shittiest effects that you've ever seen on anything.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of anything where it's like it looks super believable for our standards at least. And I've watched the moon landing. It's like, that seems legit. It looks the quality looks shitty, but it seems legit. It's just the camera quality sucks. But like if they were to do that for real, like you need some effects. I'd feel, or it seems like you would need to affect it a little bit with lighting and all sorts of shit. And it just like I've seen.
What's the movie?
It's called Cleopatra. Came out in 1963, and it was $57 million.
Goddamn.
It also lost money on its release too. So
yeah,
because it's gonna be fucking garbage.
But a budget concern would be a big one for like that too.
Yeah. Because what Star Wars came out? How many years?
Not to mention they filmed the rocket taking off. Oh, 76.
76. So it came out seven years?
May 24th, 1976.
Okay, 1976. Casey, what was that Cleopatra movie?
1963.
Okay, so there's a whole 13 years difference. But the moon landing was what? What was it? 69? 68?
Yeah.
69?
69.
Yeah.
June 20th, right?
June 20th, 1968.
But then again, there are huge gaps when it comes to movies like that. Have you guys ever watched like old Marvel movies and noticed that the CGI isn't nearly as good as the other ones, and it's only been like
Oh yeah, like watching Iron Man. It's like, damn, this is good, but it ain't Endgame.
Yeah, it ain't Endgame. Like that's, and I literally know people that will not rewatch the old movies. They watch everything Endgame, Infinity Wars, and then post Infinity Wars. They don't watch anything before Infinity Wars. Yeah, which is weird. Which is fucking weird, because it's actually one person, which I like would legit want to watch the whole series again, and not just when
I've done it.
Technology got more at a peak with the movies. But that has nothing to do with whatever. But technology advances very quickly.
The thought that it was done, it cracks me up, especially the one where they say that they believe that it was, one, funded by Disney, and two,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, it is pretty funny. But two, done by Stanley Kubrick, because if this was done by Stanley Kubrick, there'd be people coming out. He did The Shining and Clockwork Orange.
Okay, The Shining,
and a bunch of other ones. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say about
it doesn't make sense to the theory, but I was like, okay, because the name sounds familiar. It's like The Shining. That makes.
But
sense.
if he were to direct the moon landing, we'd have people who would, out of spite most likely, because he pisses actors off, coming out and be like, yeah, that shit was faked. I'm the guy in the suit. You know.
That was a Neil.
He's
Armstrong.
like, why are you coming out? Because Stanley Kubrick's a fucking bitch. Because like he pissed actors off, and he didn't treat actors good, you know.
Dude, and actors are always no,
he went a little overboard because he's like OCD, and he would reshoot scenes like up to 200 times.
Damn.
Same scene,
Christ.
over and over again.
I was gonna say the Soviets, like at the time, they had their own competing moon program, and they had their own extensive intelligence network.
It's called a potato.
Yeah. And they had their own scientific.
It was a race to the moon for sure. I mean, the race to space, the Soviets actually won.
And Buzz seen that potato, and he took it personally. He was like, "You're mocking me, aren't you?"
We were able to analyze their data, what they're sending up to the moon. We were able to, ping off their shit. So they had the same technology, basically, so they would be able to do it too. So if the Soviets didn't have this technology and able to monitor what the Americans are doing in space, if the Americans were lying about landing on the moon, the Soviets would have fucking called everybody out. They would have called us the fuck out.
Oh yeah.
And in their history books too, they have Neil Armstrong down as the first man on the moon. So even they acknowledge it.
When I was looking this up and I saw the percentages of what countries believe that it was faked by us, Russia has the top with 28% believe that it was faked.
They're mad.
No shit.
20% of America, but 28% of Russia, and then it's like all the other countries are kind of in between there.
Oh,
the ones that were listed.
Every little word.
The three top ones, they got 6 to 20% of Americans. That's their average. 25% of Britons, and 28% of Russians.
Yeah.
That's wild as shit.
Yeah, but it's like when I read that, I was like, yeah, of course they think we fucking faked it more than anybody else. Like they were going against us. Like why the fuck wouldn't they think it?
Have you guys heard of that show For All Mankind? I haven't watched it, but I
have not.
I listened to talk about it. Yeah, it's like an alternate history of what if like God damn it, I thought it was what if Russia landed on the moon first. Maybe it's not. What would have happened if the global space race had never ended after the Soviet Union succeeded in the first crewed moon landing ahead of the United States? Okay, so it is. It's a TV show about what if like Russia landed on the moon before we did. I kept hearing stuff about it. It was an Apple TV TV series. I don't know. It just
I haven't heard anything about it.
There's a bunch of like from what people like talk about the show, it just seems like things would like some crazy like differences. Yeah, I don't
I
know.
mean,
It
you
kind of
gotta
like
admit that
supports
landing on
if-
the moon first was a big flex and it was a strong moral boost. And
Oh yeah, for sure.
it was one of those things with the
It was-
Cold War, which
it even-
it's secrets versus secrets versus secrets, and to have something so strong as like, hey, guess what? You guys have all these secrets. You guys have all these secret weapons, but guess what? You guys we're light years. We're Buzz Lightyears ahead of your guys' technology because we're already on the moon. We're putting our flag in the moon soil.
It,
And we're
it
fucking
wasn't
shoved in there dry. We're
It
not even
wasn't even,
spinning
Yeah.
because there's no moisture on the moon. Oh, there's a little bit of moisture on the moon, but you don't know that because you've never been here.
Yeah,
We're
just
wasn't
getting in that
even-
moon.
It'll get
We're
there.
getting up in that crater and those moon rocks, and we're looking at the dark side of the moon, and we're mooning you guys from space because that's it, and that's us, and we're all about it. America.
Watch the show
America.
now.
No, fuck, Matt. You just made me lose my train of thought with
Fuck
your
yeah.
fucking.
I've heard a lot of good things about this show, and a lot. It only has 2 seasons, but the second season came out in 2021. But I mean, you never know if it got canceled.
That's what I was
or
gonna
not.
say. I was gonna say going to the moon was never even about going to the moon.
Who goes there?
It was literally about
Friend or foe?
who has the fucking illest rockets. Is
Yeah,
what it
it's
was.
always
Yeah.
whose
And
dick
that's
is
why
bigger when it
we
comes.
found
we
out
lost.
five.
Yeah, the
That's
fact
five.
is we lost the rocket thing. We lost, and then we were like, you know what?
Yeah.
Fuck it. We're gonna go over there.
Yeah, and Russia and
we're not
Russians
gonna only
still
get out of
think-
space. We're gonna go to that big thing in the sky.
And it's funny because Russians still think that they have the fucking most dominant like fucking technology with that shit. And I thought it was funny that Elon Musk posted that thing. It's like, oh yeah, your
Yes.
outdated rockets, and then posted like, you know,
We're talking about Soviet Russia, guys, so we should be a little bit more sensitive that, not necessarily.
okay, well then just cut out anything I just
The
said there.
USSR.
USSR.
Well, I'm just talking about. I mean,
Yeah,
I was
but
just
here-
talking about Putin in general because Putin, his mindset is in a different time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause
It's
he's
not accurate to shit now.
pulling from
Maybe
you.
it wasn't
People
as
are
great.
suffering because he's a piece of shit.
At least we can
But
repair
anyway.
stuff because we have that bonding strip.
We do have that bonding strip.
Yeah.
Buzz Lightyear needs more tape.
They said,
Yeah, so fucking. Yeah, I mean, it really was just whose dick is bigger at that point.
Oh,
When
yeah, for
it's
sure.
like, oh no, I got there first. No, I got there first. Nah, cause see my flag there. Which I fully believe that that we did get there first.
You
That's
know
not
the
even a
funny thing about
patriotic
that?
thing. It
If
just-
if another country or someone were to fly up to the moon and take the flag, move it, that'd be almost an act of war.
I'm gonna.
Well,
tell you
I don't
right
think
now-
I don't think the flag's up there. I don't think it's up there right now.
the flags are up there, but they're all
You sure?
from
If there
yeah
was
from
time travel-
They're
from sun
bleached.
radiation.
They're
They
that legal?
they're all bleached white. Any flag that's up there, they're all bleached white.
yeah.
If there was anything as such
From
thing as
UV
time travel,
exposure.
I would have hopped up there like a year, like maybe like I would go up there and be
Shit,
like
there's
up on
6 of
Russian
them up
Pride, and then
there.
I'd go up there and I wipe my ass with the flag on camera.
Well, I guess there's 6
I'm just
flags up
playing.
there, so
I
you
would
have
never do
to
it
go through a whole
6
golf
bags
course
up.
of it.
Dude, that's dope. Like that is the ultimate marine world. I could never afford that.
Oh my god.
I was playing. I would not wipe my ass. I would not wipe my flag with any ass. I would not wipe my ass with any.
Yeah,
flag.
you'll track aliens.
Hey, wait.
You're
On
like-
that kind of subject, do you think that like alien colonies have flags, or do you think that they just have something else? Like they.
They probably have
It's just
holograms.
bolts of another head. They just
Probably
use a head
holograms.
from a like
If
a
anybody's watched that
human
new
flag.
season of Love, Death, and Robots, there's a whole episode about this hive thing, and it's so cool because they basically say that they've lived like millions of years without whatever. That intelligence is our downfall because how smart we are, and we keep trying to go past whatever. And it's like it's gonna get us killed. Basically, they can replicate anything like that to evolve and adapt, but they like kind of choose not to in a sense.
I don't
And so
know.
they
Some
even
sci-fi
in
shit's
that
kind of
episode they want to
just,
wait what?
some sci-fi stuff is just like over projecting.
Well, no, but because I'm just saying because I've already said this before. It's like we're too smart for our own good sometimes because we don't focus on important shit like protecting the planet we live on. We keep looking for the stars, and by the time we get to that point, we're going to destroy ourselves before we can even do it because we don't protect what we have right now. That's what like global
Hey, Mike,
warming
I'm
and
coming up
shit.
on my break.
I think it's a test. It's just an evolution test, I think is what it is. Some people it's make or break. And I think every intelligent species out there came through certain things,
I'm
like
not
World War
saying
II. World War
intelligence is the worst thing,
yeah.
but I'm just saying that the way that we're going about it, and that's what people keep saying. It's like
We're
we
hitting
don't
a
protect
milestone.
We don't
hitting a
protect the
milestone right
things
now.
we have. We're trying to do stuff without making sure we have the ground to keep doing what we're trying to do. Like, you
Exactly.
can't see
Well,
the stars if you ain't got ground to stand on right
yeah,
now.
and I think it's a milestone thing. You get so big in your current like where you're at with technology and how far our species has advanced, and hit the next milestone. It's a test. We're gonna make or break. If we break, civilization goes
Probably gonna
down.
break because we can't
If we make it, then
we can't even
it
stabilize
flourishes
the
and new
ground we're
shit
on
happens.
right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably
Can't even
not.
stabilize the ground we're on.
I mean,
And
the
it's like,
scariest thing is
I believe we
politics.
can do all that extra shit. We can't even stabilize the shit we're on.
Are we
can't
taking
even
break?
protect our own planet.
Yeah, we're gonna take a break soon. So before we do that, I'd like to just recap this section real quick. So we all pretty much believe that it wasn't faked, but what do you guys think the percentage-wise? What do you think about us being wrong? What if it was faked? Percentage-wise, what do you believe at least?
That's what I always say is
like, is it?
I'm not gonna say 100%, but I mean, I think I say 100% a lot, but I mean, I can't like completely rule it out. I mean, I love the concept of different ideas. What if this? What if that? But I mean, to me, I think it was fake. Like I think it's stupid. Like it was fake, but then it's like, what if it's not? And that's a cool concept too. Like I mean, maybe it's not.
Wait, Joe, you think it's fake?
You think the moon landing's fake?
No,
Oh.
I said that backwards. My bad.
Yeah,
I don't
was like,
think
wait,
it was fake. I don't think it was fake, and I can't say 100%, even though I say 100% a lot. Like I think it's dumb. Like there's no way that it was fake, but also, I mean, there's a possibility that it is.
Yeah.
I see why
I'm
it
just
could
saying,
be
if
fake.
it is, I'm not gonna feel stupid because I'm just gonna say like, oh well, it's like, oh shit, I was wrong, because it's
So
like
what
you
odds
never
would you
really
give it?
know.
You think?
I think I would give it about a fucking almost a 90, like maybe 89% that it wasn't fake.
Oh, there's still some hope, Joseph. I can sway you the other way. I give
No,
it.
I'm just saying it that way because I can't ever be 100% certain with things.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna tell you why. I'll tell you
But
why.
I am very strongly leaning
Yeah,
on
the next
other
section.
side. I just will not do 100% guarantee.
I believe that it's probably
The last
not
podcast
fake,
probably, but
but,
Hearing your
you know,
voice.
there's I got some other theories that don't add up that I'll bring up after the break.
that
but-
Khonshu was
All right,
Yeah,
guys.
but
So anyway, guys, we're gonna quit.
Hold
We're
on,
gonna.
Matt. What about you?
You know,
What would you give percentage-wise?
I think there's a good chance that we did just land on the moon. I don't think that it wasn't technology at the time wasn't too far off from us doing it.
Yeah.
So I think we did, honestly.
Yeah, me too. I'm
but I
like
understand
99.9% sure we landed on the moon.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'd like to switch mine to a 92% because
Okay.
like, not a whole 10% that it's not.
Yeah.
Negative. There are no restraining harnesses in the cargo area. We'll be much safer in the cockpit. We'll be right back in this break.
Thank you for listening to the Conspiracy Podcast. We're glad to be doing this, and we hope you're enjoying it. Please like, subscribe, comment, participate in our polls, and, rate us 5 stars. Thank you for listening.
Star Command. Come in, Star Command. Why won't they answer? All right, welcome back to the Conspiracy Theory Outpost. I'm Matt.
Mike.
Joe? Sorry.
That's fine.
We don't have to say our names again, you guys.
Okay, well.
Just welcome us.
Anyways, what were you saying about the whole 50-50 thing?
Okay,
I
so
love that movie.
yeah.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He's in every podcast episode.
I love it.
I love it.
No, what makes me question some of the shit that NASA does is where'd all their blueprint designs go? All their original videos, their data scans, the first moonwalk. Where did all that shit go?
That was Michael Jackson, Casey, and he's not going to reveal where he first came up with the technique.
If like we did some historic shit, something that no one's ever done before, you think they would safeguard this information? Like this would be like fucking gold to them almost, This is first time we got a man on the fucking moon. Woohoo, motherfucker. Like,
is it gone now?
They lost it. They don't have it.
Huh.
NASA's response
I did not know that.
Yeah. Their response to this, their here, let me get to their actual, because the director of NASA actually responded to why it was
Is that Stanley Kubrick? No.
I don't have the notes down where like offhand where it's at, but he basically said
17 original.
There was this guy who his job was to store data files, and he stored hundreds of thousands of data files yearly, you know? And I guess he stored these files, but I don't know how he was storing them. Like, I guess he wasn't labeling them, I'm assuming, because he's a fucking idiot. Because how else would you lose them, you know? And he said he stored
the blueprints
them,
of the,
and they never found it. They created a ex-astronauts, some like PIs and shit. They all created a group to go try to find these tapes. Spent like 2 to 4 years, some shit like that, trying to find these things. Nope, never found them. So that's what makes me like kind of suspicious.
Okay.
Like you have all this
lunar module
and it's all gone. They don't have any. They don't even have like any of their rocket like designs. They have nothing. They have nothing of their lunar module designs. None of that.
I'm looking at lunar modules right now. Is that
by the way, I just want to say something for everyone that's listening.
Sketches reveal how the Apollo missions work. I don't know if they're the original whatever, but it's ones they're showing on here.
I just want to butt in real quick, say to everyone that's listening in right now, we did lock our doors because we are afraid that Buzz Aldrin will bust in like the Kool-Aid Man and punch us in the face. That happens.
We might. I mean, we've already been getting threatening messages, something about killing our whole family, going hyperdrive, and calling us nerf herders. But nothing too serious. We haven't made it to Alderaan yet.
Oh, here the people who the company that made the designs for the lunar module and the Saturn.
We're also Mattel.
The Saturn V rocket. They destroyed most of their lunar module documentation, and
maybe they didn't want the Russians getting it. They're like, "Fuck this, dude, we gotta memorize."
The Saturn V rockets still exist on microfilm, so I guess they still have that. But why destroy the plans for something that's already built and used?
Well, maybe so.
They probably didn't want to get into the wrong hands. Like a lot of documents are either blacked out or burned.
Okay, but why didn't they just get a big ass stamp and just stamp over their shit?
Because Russians can read through blacked out documents. It's a part of their thing. Soviets, sorry, it's the same fucking shit. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing.
Soviet.
White people are the same as fucking Nazis.
Yeah, white people are wrong.
Trust me.
Hey, I was listening actually to the fucking this is important podcast, and Adam Devine was actually filming in Germany, and he's like, you literally can't go anywhere without them bringing up their fucked up history. It's like they actually acknowledge it every time. It's like you go to a place and they'll have like things like letting you know it's like, hey, this is where fucked up shit happened, pretty much. It's like,
they have a house called Ed Frank's attic.
Yeah, he kept making jokes about how it's like, oh man, yeah, this place is cool. It's like, oh man, my mood's down now because it's like they're just like telling you all the fucked up shit. It's like they can't get enough with telling you how fucked up that their history is. They don't ignore it. They don't say that was a long time ago. They legit just tell you, hey, look at the fucked up shit our people did.
That's fucked up. I mean, but here's a quick fact a lot of people didn't know about Buzz Aldrin. He ate snacks in space. Or on the moon. Sorry, he ate snacks on the moon. He ate snacks on the moon. He ate snacks on the moon. Okay.
Buzz, he had to eat to live.
It was sugar cookie cubes,
crazy, right?
square-shaped bacon, fruit drinks, and coffee.
Is this real?
Yeah, it's a fact.
Is this real?
No, this is actually legit fact. He did. He's a real fact.
Do you guys be legitimate? This actually seems accurate. Was Buzz Lightyear named after this guy?
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah,
he was.
Is that why Woody calls him Light Snack because he ate snacks on the moon? Because
he broke a world record as the oldest person to visit the North and South Pole. Also to visit Andy's bedroom and still
local law enforcement.
Why you
Apollo 1 was damaged. Where's that bonding strip? Buzz Lightyear needs more tape.
Hi, I'm Chris Hansen. Buzz, why don't you sit down? Why don't you tell me why you're here?
Oh my god.
I was just gonna tell Andy how dangerous it is to meet older men on the internet.
I expected Matthew after you said that. I expected Matthew to bust out with the whole speech from the box.
I thought he was going.
Yeah,
to.
and it's like, you weren't trying to meet an underage boy named Andy. No, I wasn't trying to. I was just trying to go to the moon. What moon? His. Why does he have bed sheets of you, pictures of you in a spaceman suit? To infinity and beyond.
What the fuck?
All right, guys, let's go back to the
What the
moon.
hell is that from? Just going off the top
a
of your
mixture
head.
of Chris Hansen and the best of Buzz Lightyear quotes.
That's a Buzz Lightyear.
Do you know these life forms?
Okay, well, before all that,
Buzz
that
Lightyear
shit,
walks the room.
what
Oh,
Casey was
local
saying
law
was
enforcement.
You are a sad, strange little man.
What
You
Casey
have my
was,
cookie?
God damn it, you guys. What Casey was saying would actually probably sway me a couple percentage points because that is fucking wonky.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
blueprint,
but also,
design and development drawings of the machines missing. Apollo 11 data tapes containing the telemetry data before they put it on the TV because they were using a SSTV, which is a slow scan TV, so they can edit shit out that they wanted to.
Yeah, but if you believe that
don't have it.
all the Roswell stuff's locked up, then you also got to believe that all the fucking first moon landing stuff's locked up too.
Well,
They're
I
just
do
not
believe in
keeping
Roswell.
on- Yeah. So I mean, it could be the same fucking shit. It's like, oh no, we never kept documents of it. It's like, yeah, we did. We're just keep it hidden.
Yeah,
Maybe they think it's still security reasons.
And now I'm back to 99.9.
There we go.
All I know is that their ship is crashed.
Yeah, but they've openly said,
Okay.
why would? I guess if they wanted to lie, why would they?
Yeah.
tell us the truth?
Since when does the
Yeah,
government
Casey,
tell
I
the
think
truth?
the word you're searching for
But NASA's
is
not our
Space
government.
Ranger.
NASA
The
just
government
works
were
with
involved
them.
with it though.
Yeah, they just work with them. They're not.
Yeah, they work with them. They're not 100%.
Yeah, and
I'll tell
and
you
if
why
you
they're not
believe-
100%. Because if NASA relies on SpaceX right now to do majority of the space stuff, it tells you that the government's barely thinking about NASA, which is pretty sad for America. Because I wish we could put more taxes into NASA than we do.
Fuck that.
Because
Put more money
a
into
private company is better than our government-funded space program.
Well,
that
we
just
should
kind of
also
tells you
put more money in,
a shitty part about America.
trying to protect our planet in general. Like, I think it should be a fair balance.
Taxation is theft. That is.
Yeah. That's
No,
all.
well, I think
That's
taxation is
thing.
I think it's an appropriate thing, but where our taxes are going, we don't know.
Right? Yeah, if it's
No.
done right. But
Yeah,
if
I
it's
would
done
like
correctly,
to
anything
raise
ever
the-
gets better. When was the last time you had a summer that didn't tell you that you have to be indoors because how black the fucking sky is? Casey, not
Here in
you. fuck
California,
you,
it's
because
been a
you're not in
while.
California. But in California, yeah, it's like, dude, it's like our planet is fucking dying and nobody cares. It's like, hey,
That's just California, bro.
yeah, but that's the start of it. It's not just California. The rain, like the Amazon rainforest. You know how many acres that burns a year? A lot. Casey and me
Nevada-
were just talking about this.
Nevada's lakes are all drying up. They're basically bone
Yeah.
dry almost. They're finding bodies in the from
Record
from
breaking.
dumping
yeah,
back
in
in
the
the water.
fucking
Record breaking fucking.
Oh yeah, they're finding bodies. You break your neck when you try to fucking dive head in first on something.
Everything
that you thought was
starts-
deep.
Everything
Sounds
starts
good.
somewhere.
Shoreline's receding.
Everything starts somewhere, and it's gonna start where it's the hottest. Like it's like you hear things about like fucking whatever.
In Tom
like,
Cruise's
glacier shit, like,
bedroom.
melting and everything else.
Yeah, that's,
I'm just saying, it's like people are like, California, man. Everybody they're just not raking their yards.
Yeah, it's because you
like,
didn't listen to
oh,
old Trump. He didn't get out there and rake your fucking forest like he told
Rake
you
your-
to. And guess what happened?
Rake your forest and your water will come back. Your wells
Yeah.
will stop being dry.
Yeah,
and
with all
those
that
who
blood
have their
out
wells
of the
will no longer
forest,
have to
not
sell
getting
them to
into
the
streams,
farmers that
Joseph.
don't have the water. Like that's a big thing, especially out here. People are selling the wells that aren't dried up to local farmers. It's because we don't have enough fucking rain out here. But nobody's like, you don't hear that.
Guys,
Everybody's
You
like,
know where
yeah,
there's plenty of water? On the moon.
that's the problem. Everybody's like, oh shit.
Our water
Let's
from.
not
There's a lot of
fix-
there's a
let's
lot
not
of
fix
liquid on the
something-
moon.
You guys, we can't get rid of our comfort and like everything else. We can't like, be a little less lazy.
I say
Instead,
this, yeah.
we have to look for a different planet. That's the only way out of this.
Well, yeah. Well, it's shitty because the whole politics are involved. Politicians, are kind of
stupid. But let's not get all that.
Yeah, let's get off the politics.
Yeah, because that always ends up into a thing. I'm just saying that it's just stupid because it's like nobody can get rid of like a little bit of comfort. Nah, dude, I need these things in the bottle, man.
And you
need California hasn't rolled out their Operation HARP yet, so you guys haven't got here.
Who wasn't a fan of?
That's why we're getting rain in Idaho in the fucking end of May.
Well,
June.
Fuck politicians. Who wasn't a fan of them? Buzz Aldrin. Let me quote. Don't talk to me about importance. Because of you, the whole future of this entire universe is in jeopardy.
That's the other fucking thing funny in Love, Death, and Robots, because they're like the 1% blasted themselves into space. It's like, I'm glad some of them got away. And then it shows the 1% that got into space and they're cats in suits. And he's like, what'd you expect, Elon Musk? And he's all sipping on a fucking alcoholic beverage. Just a cat in a suit. Because they're like, they basically go through the thing. It's like the survivalists that say fuck government all killed each other. The tech geniuses didn't leave any actual people that weren't part of the rich class to help them. They relied on machines, which betrayed them. And then the 1% tried to blast themselves out into space. And then in the end, they couldn't make it because the evolutionary chain, cats made it. And they're like, what'd you expect, Elon Musk?
And if
a
1% goes into space, it's not enough people to survive. Like,
that's a joke because
about the 1%, not enough people to
it's like
carry the human race.
They're trying to get rid of the poor, and it's like you cannot survive without a large body of people. 1% can't make it without us. So it's like,
you could own Microsoft, but if you don't have any workers, what's Microsoft? Anyways,
but sorry about that.
Is there any evidence to why people are against the moon landing? All right, Casey, do you have any knowledge on that?
All these conspiracies we've been talking about.
Let us set our laser from stun to kill. Casey,
they were talking about that there was air blowing the flag around. We already talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah, he was moving it with his hand. At least that's what I believe. That's what it looks like to me.
Well, they said that because it was on that like 7 shaped pole, they said when it was folded up, when obviously they were traveling, they didn't just have this thing dangling around with them.
I think it moved like a.
They didn't have that on the back of their fucking
on
their back of their spaceship like they had it in the bed of a truck. Just. All right, boys, right here.
Woo, let's go to space. There's a little iron ball sack thing hanging from the end of the rocket ship. Woohoo!
Fucking.
It got nuts like
America's got balls. Why do you guys have that? It's so unprofessional. It's because America's got balls, ladies and gentlemen. Fuck you, world.
You ain't got these limb nuts.
Take a look at this dick. Circumcised.
Oh, fuck.
Fucking.
Why'd you do this? I'm not Jewish. This is a choice. America, freedom.
an unknown fact that most people get wrong, that Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin didn't ride inside this rocket when they shot up there.
They're also circumcised.
They were strapped on top with saddles, cowboy hats on, fucking flying to the moon like a boss.
Yeah, with the fucking American Eagle on both sides of them. No, they rode up into space on American Eagles. And they were shooting off fireworks, and they were like 4th of July, holding that night of the Constitution.
That night, a lot of people wished on that shooting star that fell, but that was actually one of their spurs that fell off from their boot, their cowboy boot, when they're clicking it on the rocket.
And when you wished upon that, you wished upon America's dream.
America's dream.
And that is why we break open Budweisers and we enjoy it. Good old.
Yeah, there's a couple beer cans. There's a couple buds on the moon if you actually look close enough.
Yeah, there's like shotgun there.
How do we drink these? You don't need to drink them. We don't need to drink them, brother. It's like,
Neil's like, Buzz, what are you doing? They don't call me Buzz for nothing. Hey, come on, Neil. It's like camping, you fucking nerd. Come on, we just
Neil was getting on Buzz. Neil was getting on Buzz. He was just like, "What are you drinking? Bud Light." It's like, okay, Lightyear, that's enough beer for you. Have a man's beer. Here we go.
Once they got on the moon and they stepped off on that bitch, they grabbed that hat, that holds the 2 beers, and they had it just hooked up into their helmets, so they were just able to drink ice cold beer on the moon.
Dude,
They brought hella guns. They brought hella guns up there just to show that,
your beer will never go flat with all that pressure. They could fucking, that's that was probably pretty fine up there.
That is why I would be the worst fucking astronaut ever. Like, they're like, you're going up to the International Space Station. Be like, why is your luggage like 60 pounds?
Why
do
you
you're
have
only
so many
supposed to bring out a couple things.
The necessities.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Beer shits in space.
I need a decoy wife, not one I'm going to sleep with, just one I'm going to beat after I drink these beers.
Fuck.
I need a decoy wife. What are you going to cheat on your wife? Fuck no. I need one to beat after I drink these beers.
Drink these beers. Now make me a sandwich, but don't use the bread because we can't bring that shit along.
Make me a metaphorical sandwich.
Could you imagine what it would be like cracking a beer in zero gravity?
Like
if you could get the beer up there without it, like. Psst,
Oh yeah, I don't know physics like that. I don't know if you'd be able to get that beer up there.
But if you could,
if you could,
it's just that fizzy fucking. Would it just turn into foam when it's in zero gravity? Do you think? It would just expand into foam.
I think it would explode on your way up, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but that's what I was saying. Is like if you could get it up there.
What if you get flat beer and you bring it up there?
Oh yeah, uncarbonated.
Uncarbonated.
Gross. It'd be gross, but yeah.
See, that's the thing is I want to see
if you're up there for 12 days.
I want to see what carbonation does in zero gravity.
Yeah, because I think Buzz is up there for like 12 days. I think so. If you're up there for like 12 days,
lit.
Yeah, you have to. Right?
I was actually thinking about that. Like, do you know how those people, like that one guy, he jumped from the stratosphere or whatever?
Oh yeah, I watched that. That's fucking nuts.
So when he did that, like, do you think if he just slammed a beer right there, he just would have been fucked up?
Well, I don't know.
High altitude with the low oxygen?
Possibly.
Oh, definitely.
Because I know. Oh, sorry, Joseph. Go ahead.
As the bubbles of carbon dioxide as carbonated beverages aren't buoyant in a weightless environment, so they remain randomly distributed throughout the fluid. Even after swallowing, this means that carbonated beverages, including soft drinks and beer, may become a foamy mess during space travel.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
It looked like a whole bunch of foam going through.
So then it would be, oh dude, and I don't like the foam in beer, so I just could not. I mean,
it'd be like no, dude. It would be like like a fucking how everyone loves a fucking whipped cream can. You'd be like, shh, oh, do me,
dude,
straight in your mouth the fucking beer.
Whippets on beer cans, bro.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool.
Oh, dude, that'd be
just making shit.
You guys
imagine shotgunning a beer in space. It would probably
Shore up there.
Have you guys ever done
It'd shoot right down your throat.
What happens if you drink a beer in space? NASA has had scientists attempt to brew beer in space, but drinking a Budweiser on the space station could be problematic without gravity. The foam wouldn't settle at the bottom of your stomach, and you could wind up with hiccups, burps, or an upset stomach. That doesn't seem too bad.
Just imagine the fucking foam just working its way out.
It's just coming out of your fucking nose. Just
it doesn't settle without gravity, dude. That would kind of fucking suck. I mean,
it would feel so weird.
That's why you drink the beer, but then you just float upside down.
You keep spinning.
The keg stands.
He's gonna throw up, and you just start looking like fucking SpongeBob when he was sick, just laughing up all the bubbles and shit. Catch those bubbles; they're still high in ABV. Let's get it.
I would be interested to see what happens in zero grav if you're drunk. Like if you bring up a bottle of whiskey.
Honestly, that would be dope.
These are the kinds of questions that I have.
Yeah, NASA, get the fuck on it, you pieces of shit.
I wouldn't know how to feel. I'd be like dumbfounded in like zero gravity.
Space.
Like, that'd be crazy.
That'd be weird.
No, dude.
That'd be
honestly,
so weird.
Have you ever seen the video?
It says astronauts and cosmonauts are restricted from being intoxicated at launch.
Lame.
Yeah,
nerds.
Despite restrictions on consumption, there have been experiments in making and keeping alcoholic drinks in space.
Dope.
Dude, there's a whole Wikipedia page
No.
on alcohol in space.
Mike, to get back to you on like shrooms in space, I imagine it would be like if you ever seen the video of Stephen Hawking in space. It looked like a Make-A-Wish Foundation thing. They're just like pushing them through the air like some fucking volleyball shit. It's like, dude, I feel like that'd be us in space. And be like, oh my god,
just smiling.
A bunch of astronauts. Hey, a bunch of astronauts just shoving them in space, laughing.
Yeah, they pretty much did. It's like I've always wanted to shove.
I'm smarter than you. I don't give a fuck, bro.
Imagine the guy that shoved him in the locker in high school became an astronaut, and he's like, "Here I am in space, shoving him again."
I'd fall asleep on like a rock somewhere, and they'd be like, "Casey, we need to get back in. You're gonna die." I'm like, no, leave me alone. I'm gonna sleep right here.
You'd be on the toilet in space, passed out.
No, I'm doing it for science. You're just like, no, I'm doing it for science. All right, fuck him. Leave him on the moon.
You know, honestly, for science, if they're like, "Oh, hey, we shoot you into a black hole and see what happens," I'd be like, "Fuck yeah, dude, let's do it."
Okay, Matthew McConaughey.
And then Casey, and then
what if I just emerge into another dope
You wake up, and then
in
wake
pieces.
up at the space station, and they ask you what your name is, and then you go by fucking Neil Armstrong, and then you go to fucking space. And then
time travel.
We're
doing this again, guys.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to talk about the time travel, but there it is, staring us in the face.
You become your own Wait, how old was your grandpa?
Like, I don't know how old my grandpa was.
Probably in the 60s, though. That would probably be your.
Died from choking, like being drunk or something. I don't know. I think he choked on his vomit or something. I don't know if he's actually dead. I might be completely wrong too.
I got a question that could probably get us back on track.
You become your own grandpa.
All right. Muna,
okay, this one, I mean,
a moon rock is also referred to as a dingleberry.
We all agreed right off the bat.
Yeah, but I know.
Yeah,
here's what I want to know, because this is like we were talking a lot of this stuff, like what would you do in space? That's what we were just talking about. But like, hey, if you were going to fake the moon landing, we've all seen it. If that's fake, whatever. If you were gonna fake it, what would you do different? How would you do it?
I would kill the person that's supposed to be landing on the moon and say that
the
aircraft didn't make it back. Like, because it's like then there's no proof of a landing or whatever. Like, if there was no proof of a landing, then I would just kill them there. It's like, yeah, they never made it back. It's weird.
That's how you would fake the moon landing?
I mean, no, I would still do the same thing, but then I would kill them afterwards. That way there's no witnesses. I don't know.
I definitely wouldn't post it on MTV.
Matthew, I definitely wouldn't have my cat's ass in the fucking camera shot. Talking about a full moon.
I don't know what I would do.
That's a red moon right there, Matthew.
Even if they did fake it and it was all fake, they did a fucking solid job, you know? Yeah.
In which case,
and who the fuck am I to tell? Like, who the fuck are these people? Like, oh yeah, there's no stars in space. Like, oh yeah, you're a fucking expert in everything, right? All of a sudden, you know photography and the fucking dynamics of space. Yeah, get the fuck out of here, Jerry. Go back to your goddamn gas station job, you piece of shit.
Hey, fuck you.
That wasn't a jab at you, Joseph.
No, I know it wasn't. I was just making it
like an old-timey job.
Buzz. I'll drink to the rescue.
Cobbler, but I don't know if everybody knows what a cobbler.
Oh, I thought what he said.
I believe the job you're looking for is Space Ranger.
Space Ranger.
What about you, Matt? What would you do? How would you improve or not improve, or what would you do
if I were trying to make it fake it? I would definitely keep it off MTV. And then let's see, I would do
for sure.
The thing is, if it was fake, they did a good job at it because they did keep it simple. You want it really simple. You don't want to be like, oh, by the way, there's fucking space dragons in the very background.
A bunch of aliens like that. Like, oh no, look at me. I'm surrounded by aliens. Oh fuck, better get home.
It's over there in his spacesuit with the little fucking antenna.
I can tell you I fly around this room with my eyes closed.
Fucking breakdancing in the background. If they did fake it, that was like that. You need to keep it simple, short and sweet kind of thing. But I do think it was legit because I don't think it's I think technology at the time, it was a big deal, but I don't think it's too far out of reach. It was pretty realistic.
I would have done the exact same thing they did to to do the moon landing, except I would have done like much more cinematography, like get a fucking crane shot in there. They're like, where the fuck the crane come from? We flew that bitch up too.
Oh yeah, and if I were to fake it, I would definitely have them with their space helmets on and their shirts off, and they'd all have like 6-packs.
Hey, guys.
Like it's America.
Mine would just be a spaghetti western with like.
Yeah, they would only have they'd have a fishbowl on their they'd have a fishbowl on their head and a banana hammock on, just in space, like, oh no. And then there would just be some like 3-tittied alien coming up. And it's like, I'm gonna tell Russia you got here first. It's like, no, I'm an American. I'm gonna silence you. And then he pulls out about a fucking 12-inch dong and then he gets to town. Because that's what America's all about. God bless it. And they call you get the bald eagle up there.
And then you get close up. Yeah, you get close up to the moon. You're like,
waxed.
America. And yeah, the eagle flies off in space.
Fucking A.
Save the fucking day from this stupid motherfucker.
I think there's only one purpose to even fucking hide it, and that was the fact to get there before Russia did. And then why to keep it secret this whole time? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Did you guys see the Coca-Cola incident?
What?
Oh, what are you talking about? Michael Jackson's hair got on fire because he did the first moonwalk. So
with Virgin Mobile?
No.
Or is that a Pepsi commercial with Michael Jackson's hair?
Are you talking about the polar bear? What are you talking about? Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, the soda, the brand. Boom.
The polar bear.
Back in the day when they used glass bottles. A resident of Perth of Western Australia said for 2 to 3 seconds in the lower right quadrant of her television during the live stream of the broadcast, a Coca-Cola bottle rolled in the corner. And she said newspapers came out days after the landing talking about the Coca-Cola.
So they fucking Game of Thrones this thing with the coffee cup?
Yep. Supposedly.
Well, man, if they got the pictures of the video of it, I'd like to see it.
Well,
yeah, there's actual.
Oh, that's yeah. Okay, let's get it.
Said they rolled out. Is there an actual video of moon landing? I've only seen pictures.
No, they lost
Is there an actual video?
There's a video. You can watch the video.
Yeah,
of the moon landing.
Find the
Yeah.
video.
Yeah, they have.
You've never seen it? You didn't watch it in school?
That's not the original.
I think I did, but it's been so long.
That's not the original. That's a recorded broadcast one. That's not even the fucking original one. So it's not even.
It's the broadcast though.
Yeah, that they broadcasted right out of their fucking NASA goddamn film studio. That's why Disney was in there. That's why trees are actually not bushes, or bushes are actually trees.
And that's why the Roswell incident, they had a reenactment of a video that he wouldn't show. It's like a reenactment of it.
But the original video is missing. Like, you can watch the video that they have. That's a copy of it that they slowed down for the broadcast of people. But the original video is missing, so that is pretty suspicious on its own.
Yeah, but the video I've seen looks legit, so that's the video I'm going off of. If I haven't seen the original, then I think that the one that the broadcast looks legit.
Yeah,
and it's like, again,
and you would think that looks legit with their biggest film studio that they have, and working with Disney. You've seen the stuff Disney puts on.
Back then,
it wasn't that great.
Yeah.
Have you seen Aladdin?
Aladdin came out in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
93, 92.
They were just,
it's also animation. It's drawn.
Yeah, and so is Buzz Aldrin and fucking
yeah, they're the original Pixar designs.
and their Sheriff Woody.
Back when they were still doing their creepy
Woody Armstrong.
Or back then they were first experimenting with their creepy they were the first people to do the creepy Polar Express fucking eyes and everything. They were trying to do realistic videos.
Oh shit, dude.
God, I'm gonna have to edit out all my coughs.
Yeah, no, I coughed a few times too.
Monkeypox.
Nah, I drank. I took a shot and some beer. I actually need to get water on the break.
Don't edit out those monkeypox because we need to raise awareness. So please keep coughing.
There's like 13 cases. We need to raise awareness.
We got
Dude, speaking of that, actually, Matthew,
about
you know, people in my fucking
like 7 more minutes.
they were like monkeypox is like, God, that sounds made up. It's
let's
like, bro,
just
it's
do
been
the
around
break
since
right
the
now, then.
50s.
Hey guys, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll see you in a couple seconds.
Buzz Aldrin to Star Command. Come in, Star Command. Why don't they answer? Welcome back to the Conspiracy Outpost. Now we're jumping right back into the Van Halen laser belt or some shit. Van Gilmore, Vince Vaughn, Vince Vaughn belt, Ben Affleck. What is it?
The Van Allen belt. Let's keep it like what you call it, the Van Halen belt.
Can we take it off? Oh no. What about that belt, Casey? Tell us.
So what they say is
I'm still laughing at that.
What they say that the astronauts could not have survived the radiation from the Van Allen radiation belt and galactic ambient radiation. So they suggest that they faked it because there was no way for us to get past that. Like they would not have survived the trip.
Yeah, because it's like, you ever been on a trip and your dad was like, "Oh, dude, pull over the side of the road and I'll whoop you with this belt." That's the belt. You can't survive that trip. You act up in space, you can't survive that trip.
Have you guys heard of Starfish Prime? Project Starfish Prime?
Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, this is when you spread Joseph's butt cheeks out, and you see that starfish. Sometimes it's chocolate covered, sometimes it's not. You just got to get them on a good day, you know. No, so Project Starfish Prime was a project in 1962.
First subscription service.
Yeah, they detonated a high altitude nuclear bomb. And they believe that formed another intense layer over the Van Allen radiation belt. So
layers.
Love layers. More impossible for us to cross that.
Yeah. So is that a layer in the stratos?
How did we get past it then?
They so they say the scientist says, let me just read this off because I'm not, I don't have a way to sum this up real quick. So there are two main cut that. There are two main Van Allen belts, the inner belt and the outer belt, and the transient belt.
Get your ass read.
The inner belt is the more dangerous one, containing energetic protons. The outer belt one has less dangerous low energy electron beta particles. The Apollo spacecraft passed through the inner belt in a matter of minutes and the outer belt in about 1.5 hours. The astronauts were shielded from the how do you say that?
Ionic or isotopic?
Ionizing. Ionizing.
Okay, so cut to it. From the ionizing radiation and the aluminum hulls of the spacecraft. Furthermore, the orbital transfer trajectory from Earth to the moon through the belts was chosen to lessen the radiation exposure. Even James Van Allen, the discoverer of the Van Allen belt, said that people that were claiming that the radiation levels were too harmful for their Apollo missions cited that the average dose of less than 1 REM, which is equivalent to the ambient radiation of being at sea for 3 years. So,
Casey, can I say something?
Yeah.
The amount that we've all been drinking, none of us are going to reach that REM in our sleep tonight. So
that REM.
So basically, the guy who discovered the Van Allen belt, he said that the radiation wasn't high enough for them to be affected by it when they were going through it.
Yeah, it was equivalent to being out at sea for 3 years, which isn't.
Yeah.
Like, that's not bad. I mean, being at sea for 3 years would suck, but that's not. People do it.
Yeah. Is it enough to kill someone? Because
no, that's what he was saying. It's not enough to do anything.
Well, unless you're David Carradine and you had an Allen belt around your neck in the hotel closet, that's enough to take you out.
Hey, Matthew, did you mess with mom back that one day when she was trying to call both of us? Because I asked her what she was, asked her if she was okay. I told her I was
personal stuff. We'll talk about that afterwards.
I mean, we can edit it out. I'm just saying though that she told me, oh no, it was when we were playing the game with Kenny, because she tried to call both of us, but she was like, "No, I was just trying to ask you about David Carradine." And I was like, "Who the fuck is David Carradine?" And I think she was talking about David Carradine. I think she was calling to ask us if David Carradine strangled, or if David Carradine hung himself or something. Is what I'm guessing is why she was talking about, because we talk about David Carradine all the time. I don't know who the fuck David Carradine is.
He's a hero. Kill Bill.
So it would legit, would have to be David Carradine.
Or Kung Fu.
He's also the famous guy who took
Bruce Lee's job.
Like too Oriental.
Bruce Lee was too Oriental for a movie titled Kung Fu, so David Carradine took his place.
Didn't look white enough to play in an Asian movie.
Literally, America.
So they chose David Carradine, who is what? David Carradine's white and Asian, right?
No, he's not Asian at all.
Oh, he's not Asian at all.
He's not. He looks. He can.
You know what? He's
a placebo Asian. He's a placebo Asian.
Keanu Reeves is part Asian, but to me it always seems like
Keanu Reeves has like Hawaiian and Filipino or Chinese or something.
Yeah.
He's
his
like
dad left him when he was
David
a kid.
Carradine's super white. I don't know his ethnicities, but German, Scottish, Irish, Welsh, Dutch.
Yeah, never mind. I was mixing him up with Keanu Reeves. Legit was thinking about Keanu Reeves there.
Keanu Reeves is
David
like
Carradine.
I guess
I only brought that up because that's what those phone calls were about.
People get more radiation working in a nuclear plant in a year than I guess the astronauts going across.
Nope, I think that's a lie. I think that is a lie right there. That's a conspiracy in itself.
How so?
Because the plant, you're actually highly protected. There's actually multiple protocols that go through. So the biggest problem with lobbyists right now, back then maybe, but actually nuclear energy is the cleanest energy there is on the planet right now, and there's almost zero to none risk if everything's taken as it should be, kind of thing.
Then that means that
there's zero to no harm on the environment.
Yeah, that means that the radiation that's in space that they're talking about isn't that bad.
Yeah, then that just makes the space travel like
yeah they're trying to say that this radiation belt that they're talking about is nothing.
So back to moon landing.
Well, where do we even leave off at? I don't even know.
I don't remember.
Fuck, we were.
Oh, the radiation belt.
No, I already said everything on the like technical stuff. But besides because them getting through, like we talked about them like getting through, like the radiation wasn't that bad according to the guy who discovered the belt to begin with. Yeah. But then we brought up project what was it called? Starfish?
Yeah.
Stargate Infinity.
You can't get through that.
Yeah, and that's what was it? Oh yeah, Project Starfish Prime, and that was Joseph, I don't know if you were here for that, but that was a high altitude nuclear test that they performed in 1962. That they think that conspiracists think that it formed another layer on the Van Allen belt to make it even more impossible for the astronauts to get through.
I doubt that.
I don't know if we have that technology to really. I mean, we can alter the.
Do you know how
we do have a technology to detonate a bomb in high altitude.
Yeah,
but to really influence the layers.
I'd lined up a ride beforehand. That's why.
Oh, no worries, my man.
Sorry about that.
But it's fine. I'm through like 3/4 of it, so it's all good. So you guys can finish it up.
All right.
Okay. We should be wrapping it up soon.
Have fun, brother.
Yeah.
Sorry, have a good one, man. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to.
Oh, it's all good. Take it easy.
You're all good. It's Buzz Aldrin. All's good.
Anyway, back on the like radiation stuff. So like they say the film and the camera would have been fogged by the radiation as well.
Wouldn't there be radiation like wouldn't you be able to read radiation off any like type of thing they shot off into space? Or did they
could have. No, I'm saying the radiation would have damaged the film, like the actual film itself.
Oh,
like the film and the camera. Just fucking dead air.
So they think
so NASA says that they kept them in metal containers and that stopped the radiation from coming and fogging the film.
So you're saying that there's a possibility that they created a thicker layer, a thicker radiation, some kind of layer of radiation in the, like somewhere like a layer in the atmosphere.
Yeah, basically.
For them to pass through it, and it would just like some kind of ionizing shit?
No, they didn't do it on purpose. They were just doing some nuclear tests in high altitude, and then in doing that test in the high altitude, it caused another.
But it's
layer.
gone now, right? Or we have technology where we can suppress it.
I don't know. Have we been back to the moon since 1972?
No, but we've been out in space.
Yeah,
actually, not just us. China, a bunch of other countries has.
Yeah, but no one's been back to the moon. I don't know if
the moon
going into space goes
the
back.
Moon, that radiation thing would have just layered off to the moon. Like
you can't keep portal. You can't keep a layer in space to the moon. A layer wouldn't be that strong.
Well, it's just a layer as you're going out of the atmosphere.
No one has that technology that creates that kind of barrier to the moon.
No, it's not like a human created barrier. It's like fucking spilling oil in the ocean. It's like they did it on accident. Like they just did some bullshit and it created like a radiation layer.
But
it wasn't like they created a barrier to stop you from going.
I don't think it'd be big enough to like insert there would be no way it could actually encircle the moon or just encircle. I mean, yeah, it would have to be around the moon because there would be no barrier between us and the moon for something to get stuck in there like that. I don't think so. So I don't think that would actually be a thing.
Well, no, they did do that test. That's an actual test that they did, but I don't know if it created that layers. Yeah, I don't know if
it did. I mean, it's possible, but I think it'd be super small.
Anything that we create would be stronger than what's already in space, with just already being blasted by radiation already. With the Project Starfish Prime, yeah, I don't think that would have caused, even if we did detonate something up in our atmosphere like that to create, like in space, to create another layer. Well, not to do it on purpose, but to do some test, and it did create another layer. I don't think it would have been more significant than what early space radiation is. You know what I mean? Because I feel like space radiation is probably at the most raw of its form, almost. You know what I mean?
It doesn't. Yeah,
it's way more concentrated than we get because we have our ozone layer and our fucking all our spheres in the sky. If you believe
there's space rangers out there,
we definitely have a lot of protection against like space radiation kind of thing, solar radiation.
Space rangers.
So even like a man-made project kind of thing, if we're blasting our atmosphere to like, I don't know what would be the point of it, but not.
Bro, I'm a big
not
fan
as
of blasting
intense
off.
out there
in space. They also said that if like a solar flare were to go off while they also said if like a solar flare was to go off while they were in space, that the crews would have not survived it.
Yeah, well, that actually makes a lot of sense.
So why would they put their smartest people that they're capable of going to these extreme places? Why would they send them to these? Why would they risk?
Because you take chance.
You got to take chances in order to make discoveries. I mean, anything that's ever been discovered in history wasn't just by whatever pawn they just throw out there. Not every single time.
Yeah. Maybe you don't ever send pawns.
The first Apollo crew was killed because
they sent Napoleon to rob people of their discoveries.
They're like, oh, we don't want to do this bullshit simulator stuff. We actually thought we were going to the real moon, and they're like, no, this is what you're doing. And like, fuck that. And they're like, well, Molotov in the fucking cockpit. Oh, we don't know how this electrical fire started.
I think you send qualified people out to do shit because that's just how things are.
People right. Have you ever seen that movie? Have you ever seen that movie? What is it called?
I'm just saying, people don't look at like the people. Okay, so in the Three Kingdoms, people didn't look at Lubu and was like, holy shit, above men, fucking Lubu, above horses, red hair. So let's just keep him in a stable because he is too valuable of a person to have on the front lines. It's like, no, bro, he was sitting there guarding that gate like his life depended on it. Like, you always put the best whatever in their field out there.
Sometimes
you don't just be like, they're too valuable to lose. It's like, no, that's what their field is specifically for. Like, they're specifically trained to do this.
Have you seen that movie?
You're supposed to go on a suicide mission. What was the dogs? They used to send dogs out in space. What was that called? It's really fucked up.
Project Wolf.
Oh man, if that was what it was called.
No,
It was really fucked up, actually, because I think the dogs died.
well, yeah, probably. There's no way. But
So
have you guys seen that movie?
They
were made with
like
dogs who
Armageddon?
bravely orbited the Earth to demonstrate the capacity for
the
life.
Soviet
sustained
space
in outer
dog
space in the
project.
1950s and 60s. Yep, including
Yeah,
programs in Soviet Russia.
that was yeah, and then they die, right? They didn't make it out of space. Like they were
Um,
test subjects, weren't they?
Have you seen that movie Armageddon
yeah, definitely test
with
subjects.
Ben Affleck and
Yeah, it's
Bruce
really
Willis?
fucked up. Like that's what you send into space when you don't have any when you don't have any faith in what's going on. You send your first like little lab rats out first, whatever animals you want to send, and then you send humans. It's super fucked up, but that's how things are done.
Well,
Like
yeah,
back then, I
it's
mean. Like so
still
when they
still
went
to
out
this
into
day,
space,
lab
they've
rats.
already ran all of their fucking they ran
We run
every
tests.
possible
Yep.
yeah. They ran every possible scenario they could experimentally before they could actually fucking throw out people. It's like, yeah, Russia threw them dogs out there. I read this Korean comic that basically replaced the dogs with human children to give you that feeling of like whatever, to give you like a personal connection to what the fuck they did, because people are more likely to relate to human beings than they are animals.
Yeah.
So they replaced the
And-
dogs with little girls or whatever that they sent out into space. Is like, oh, he wanted me to, oh, whatever. And it made it super fucking sad. But like they did that on purpose because they were like, picture it as human children that they sent out there instead of animals, instead of dogs.
beyond like humanity as far as it goes, like, oh, do you care about
I wish I could remember what
we don't want people to die, we don't want
comic was.
casualties.
It was a
kind of thing is
webtoon.
you want a human to be able to survive it and come back with a statement, and so you want to learn from the experience.
Yeah.
And so you
and
want someone that can-
they run all their tests that they can, and then
They
when
do.
they're finally like,
You
okay,
want a
the trial runs
survivor.
are over, now we're ready to do the actual thing.
Yeah.
Then they send the humans out there that are qualified, that are the most likely to
Qualified.
come back
super athletic.
successful.
By the way, as an astronaut, you have to be fit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like
lose bone
Armstrong,
density
he used to ride
and-
bikes and he had one nut.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was about to say that too.
You can have one nut. It's okay.
One nut, one opportunity to seize everything NASA's ever thrown at him.
And he was blood doping. No, but yeah, in all seriousness, it's like, yeah, you're gonna send your best qualified people to do it because the success rate is like more likely. It's like when you play a fucking game like fuck, what am I thinking of? Maybe ROTK, when you got, oh, we need the best people in fucking this field. What's the highest percentage chance that it's gonna get done faster and more accurate?
Exactly.
Oh, so I'm gonna use the
Experience.
people with the best whatever that are gonna be able to build this for me, or I'm gonna send the best people out there most likely to come back with the most soldiers alive on their hands. Like you're always gonna pick the better success rate.
Well, yeah.
Okay, but
Experience is.
have you guys seen that
something-
movie Armageddon with when they send Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck into space to drill through
I don't
that
watch any
asteroid?
Bruce Willis
like
movie
that.
unless it's Die Hard or Cop Out.
Anyway, so they threw him into space to drill through this fucking asteroid, right?
Yeah. Good movie.
You think that they were the smartest people in the world?
No, but that's Hollywood.
That's Hollywood.
Yeah. So was the moon landing. If
Disney.
It's
Walt Disney,
it's so-
stick
it-
to Disney princesses.
It's like subjects can be costly. It's like, you
there's
know,
always
an
a
astronaut's
risk
trained to
factor,
do-
and that's just
yeah.
how things are.
But
And you
why
want
haven't we
someone's-
gone back to the moon?
because what's
I
the
don't
way?
fucking know.
Because it's not cheap. And
Okay.
what else are we going to learn on the moon? We've
Okay,
done
but
it
then
before.
okay, Steve, Matthew, I knew you were gonna say that, so this is why I'm gonna say this. They just opened up some capsules that they took of like moon samples, like of dust and air and atmosphere and rocks and shit, and they just cracked these bitches open. And they took these little samples that they just opened this year or last year. I forgot when it was, but they just opened it from when they first went to the moon. Why would they wait that long to fucking open these samples up if they were so concerned about what's going on in the moon? Why, like, we go to space constantly. Why can't they just throw something out there to go get some more shit and bring it back to us? Why do we have to open up these old ass shit that they say that
we're
we have?
interested in Mars, bro. I don't think there's.
The study is recent.
I don't think there's much. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying this as me. It's like you went to the moon once. I don't know. There's not much left unless there's really skeletons on the moon, in which case I'd like to see that. But I think like my biggest thing would be like, hey, let's check Mars out. I don't know. I'd be focusing everything on other planets.
And if gravity is lower on the moon, how come the rocks don't float away?
What? That's so dumb. It's mass. It's mass.
Explain.
It's dense. It's dense. It's gravity. Gravity, because you have so much mass. Do you understand what mass is in space? Then everything pushes inward to mass.
I know if you got Nicki Minaj on that moon, her ass be
on
that bitch.
It would, yeah, dude. The moon would be fucking gravitating around
that.
The
same thing, dude. Earth is in space. How come all the rocks on Earth don't flow away? I get the atmosphere stuff, but it's like it's all about
the main
mass
thing
shit
is like I can't tell you why. I don't know anything about like us opening time capsules 50 years about the moon kind of shit. I can't tell you why, but I do know that politics is the biggest reason for human stunt evolution. The reason why there's a stunt in evolution is you can blame your government, you can blame billionaires, you can blame all kinds of shit, because people don't care what is revolutionizing man is not what's interesting. It's not making people yacht or making people rich. It's not what giving them yachts. It's nothing. So there's that can do that for you, because
what I would say is
the moon's boring. The moon's boring. It can be used as.
I believe that we've been to the moon. Let me say that. We've been to the moon, yes.
Yeah.
But did we go when we said we went? I'd say it's probably about 50-50, because who the fuck knows? If we don't have any actual documentation, that's all gone missing. We can't really prove that we've actually been there. Besides of these like video recordings, yeah, they could be real, they could be fake, whatever. And I'm probably leaning more towards they're real and significant, but because I don't want to believe that we're not strong enough to go to the moon, But at the same time,
Matthew was right about that thing. God damn it! And I just lost it. Astronauts often say the reason humans haven't returned to the lunar surface are budgetary and political hurdles, not scientific or technical challenges. Private companies like Blue Origin and SpaceX may be the first entities to return people to the moon. That we can't, that the government itself is having issues, whatever. So it's like someone like Elon Musk,
blame your government
if he wanted to, in which case you're doubting the abilities of your almighty Musk.
The government's having trouble funding these programs that they with their
the government
money
the
already.
Government's not letting. The government's not allowing them to be funded.
Why is SpaceX farther in
because they're not ramped up by just specific.
Why is SpaceX farther than fucking NASA? Why is SpaceX better than NASA? Because
NASA isn't run by blood diamonds like Elon Musk's family is. So Elon Musk
because
can do
your
whatever
government fucking sucks in America, and America doesn't care about furthering humanity. They just care about electric cars are the future. But you know what? Gas. But what about that gas? Because lobbyists, politics.
I think politics should be the future of humans,
everything's political.
I don't think all electric vehicles would be smart. What if an EMP goes off? There goes all those vehicles. Like how
they would regardless.
Oh, but what happens if you get rid of fossil fuels?
Which is going to be a problem.
It's going to be a real problem.
You start killing humans using their bones. Come up with the condensing process.
It has to be thousands of years.
Well, guess what, Casey? That's a good
condension.
Casey, but yeah, that's a good plan. But guess what? Someone's gonna be like, "Oh, you're a threat to my idea, so I'm gonna lobby you out of fucking your business."
That's what
that's
all
America.
Major
America
have done.
Yeah, they don't care about furthering human civilizations. That's what I'm saying. We're at a milestone in evolution. We're in between.
We're gonna collapse.
We're in between cavemen trying to. We're in between cavemen with old ideas, getting rich off old ideas, trying to preserve their legacy, versus new ideas that's gonna further humanity. We're at a milestone. That's what that is. We have people trying to convince the world that, hey, cars are great, but bikes are better, or just anything like that. Like, oh, forks are good, but have you ever thought about using nails as your gloves, or just sorry, I can't think of any analogies
That
right
wasn't
now,
a
but
good bit. That was I didn't
that was
understand
a
that
bad
fork
that
and
was
nail
yeah,
analogy.
sorry. Forks are good, but have you ever tried
The
using your
bike and
hands?
cart thing, maybe.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just things with there's old ideas. So there's ideas that are a thing of the past that lobbyists are always trying to push. Uh, Humans will never evolve when there's lobbyists. Lobbyists will always push the old ideas over new ideas because they say those are the better ones. And we're at the milestone. I don't think we should put this in there because I'm making a bunch of fuck ups right now because I'm kind of distracted. I have a cat on my lap.
I get what you're saying. We're at like milestones, but that's what I was saying before, Matthew, about the whole fucking. It's like people are more concerned on like trying to pursue like fucking whatever,
it's the whole
like
charcoal
advances,
thing.
rather
the
than
whole
trying to
charcoal thing.
protect. Rather than trying, nobody's trying to balance out things. It's like let's keep a level-headed like here where
no
we
one's
are.
trying to no one's trying to
try to
make
do
things
that
better.
too.
People are just trying to get
Yeah,
rich
they're
off
like,
of old
hey, we're
ideas.
gonna try to do this. It's like someone like
Literally
Elon Musk.
church
It's
shit.
like, hey,
It's
let's go out into
church
space.
shit.
It's like, yeah, but where are you gonna live before you can get out there? It's like nobody's looking at it like that. Nobody's actually trying to take care of the fucking whatever thing we have.
It's literally you can argue the theory. This is a conspiracy theory. Nikola Tesla. If he would have survived, this is a conspiracy theorist. If Nikola Tesla would have survived, we would have had electric vehicles by now. We would have had cell phones earlier. We would have had tons of things.
We would have had free energy.
Nikola Tesla.
He was developing wireless energy that we would have never had wires in any
radios.
houses.
Well,
radio. But
radio.
there was no what was he running off of, AC or DC? I forgot what his. If you want to look that up real quick so I don't watch it, but I know there was no money in the one that he was running, so the way that they can charge the people, they were charging them for like the.
Yeah, that is a good conspiracy theories. I don't think we should include this into our shit, but yeah, that's the main thing with the lobbyists. The biggest problem with America is you have Edison versus Tesla. You have Edison that wanted to make everything commercialized and made money off everything.
And then we can talk about some like extra bullshit.
Okay, how should we wrap this up?
People are destroying the planet over fucking.
So like with everything that's like all the good evidence that we've compiled so far, what are your guys' thoughts on why? Let me. With everything that we've talked about, what are your guys'? Are you guys persuaded to think that the moon landing was faked, or are you persuaded that it's actually happened, or are you indifferent, Matthew?
I think if I deny the fact, I deny a red, white, and blue blood, we landed on this soulless rock next to our pale blue dot in the middle of nowhere. I think Buzz Aldrin will bust through my door like the Kool-Aid Man and punch me in the face. So I'll say this right now. We landed on the moon, baby, yeah. We did, baby, yeah. I think so.
I believe we we landed on the moon definitely because I don't want to believe that we're not advanced enough to be able to do that. You know, I don't want to believe that we're not in that part of our evolution. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if the moon landing was faked at the time, that's fine with me. I don't even give a shit. Honestly,
dude, it would hold everything that we're doing now. Like,
even if it was faked at that time, I still believe that we still have gone to the moon. Even if the first one was faked, I believe that we've gone there.
If the first one was fake, then that means people like Elon Musk or any fucking rich billionaire that's taking fucking trips out into space while the rest of us are suffering out here. It means that they couldn't have done that without the achievements we did back then.
Well, yeah, that's kind of like what I'm saying.
Yeah, no. I was just agreeing with you. I was just adding on to it. No, I agree with what you just said.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's what I like.
It discredits everything that's happened.
Even
that's been yeah, that's been established since then with space travel.
But there's just so much like every theory that's been put out there, it's been disproven, by the scientific community, private
Well, yeah, now it's
community.
just popular to say it was fake. Like that's literally what it is. It's popular to say
The
that
reason the reason why
we
they
never
say it
landed
got
on the
big
moon.
again is because Fox released that documentary or
Yeah, well, Fox is a bunch of
whatever
crap.
it was called. Like I don't know if they claimed it as a documentary, but it was called "Did We Actually Go to the Moon" or some shit like that. Let me find the actual name of it real quick.
Yeah, well, has did Fox ever do anything good after Family Guy? Like that's I don't. Fox is like the worst fucking.
Yeah, don't ever reference news channels.
Yeah, Fox, CNN, it doesn't matter what it is. This isn't like a political fucking pool of anything. They're all dumb things pushing an agenda for one side. None of it's actually fucking means anything. If you're a part of that like side, if you believe that whatever, then it's okay. But it's like then you're just being one sided. You're not being open about things.
Okay,
Look
so
at
the
both angles and fucking decide what you want from both sides of stories.
so the reason I think the moon conspiracy got big again was because of Fox's 2001 special conspiracy theory. Did we land on the moon? And I think that's what piqued people's interest again because they were basically just giving out information like it was fact, like opinion, like it was a fact.
Yeah, this is also from the network that got rid of the loop, and that was a fucking fantastic show. So fuck them.
You're right.
But like I think that we definitely did land on the moon. I kind of I kind of hope that like the first one was kind of fake, just for the conspiracy side of my to get my jollies off. But no, but I definitely believe that we've been to the moon, and if we haven't, then it's one of the greatest fucking ho- hoaxes of all time. Like the amount of people, manpower, planning, fucking faking shit. They shot this rocket. There's people standing outside. They felt the blast waves. Like they shot something into the sky. So
Yeah, and also
just the
if you
amount of
believe in
fucking
okay, if
the
you
amount
believe
of
in the Roswell thing,
resources and shit that you would have to use just to pull this fucking off is just would be unobtainable at that time. I would believe.
okay, and if you believe in the whole fucking Roswell thing, if it was aliens and whatever,
I do
if you
believe
have
in it.
any whatever, yeah, so it's like if you can't believe that we reverse engineered stuff to their level by time now, then you can at least believe that we've taken something from that and was able to go to the fucking moon at least from things that we learned from like whatever we could salvage from that incident. Wait, when did the Roswell thing happen? I forget.
So we went to the moon in 1961. Roswell is I think it was. Hey, hold on, I don't want to say the wrong.
I could be in a whole different era right now.
Guys, we should probably conclude this.
Well,
and
that's
just
that's
hang
what we're
out.
trying to do, Matthew. Just
Just chill.
so Roswell is 1947. So yeah, so this
Yeah.
is like 20 years
So
after.
yeah, so if you can't believe that we've reverse engineered anything that we found from Roswell, if you believe there was aliens there, because then you're just saying that human beings are
Well,
fucking idiots
well, yeah.
altogether.
Anybody can reverse engineer a balloon, Joseph. Like that's not fucking hard.
Yeah, a balloon and a dummy in the air.
You're a
Yeah.
clown.
No. Yeah. No, I agree with you, Joseph. If
Yeah,
because I do believe in the
if you're a
Roswell incident,
conspiracy
and
theorist and you
if
don't believe in the moon landing, but you believe in aliens crashing in Roswell, then it contradicts the other. When
yeah,
you
that
just
was.
believe that there's no faith in humanity, we
I
can't
never
just
thought of that,
reverse engineer
Joseph,
shit.
before, but that does make sense. Like, because I did, like, I was kind of hoping for like a moon conspiracy, like a moon conspiracy, if you will. But no, but like, yeah, the
You're the
Roswell
man
stuff
of
did
moon
happen in
conspiracy.
1947. If we
Someone
did
in the
indeed
atmosphere.
get craft for that, then yeah, that makes sense that we would have the technology to go to the moon, especially if people like there was tons of reports of UFOs, during that
Yeah, and it's
time.
like, and if
And
we're
just,
hiding, if we were hiding stuff since the 40s, you said.
Yeah, that was 1947. So it's basically a
how we
20-year
not been able
gap.
to make our own spacecrafts by then.
Imagine our technology. Just how old are we? You know, in our almost our 30s, or some of us are in our 30s.
We went from dial tone phones to fucking touch.
Like, I remember
like it doesn't
loading up a YouTube video of like, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. I remember that took almost an hour to load up like a 2-minute video. And it,
Dude, I remember from LimeWire fucking possible virus videos to just being able to go to MP3 YouTube converters or MP4 YouTube convert, whatever fucking shit.
Yeah, like
to being able to download music just by copying the fucking URL or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, so like even our technology from when we were kids, like because we didn't have cell phones when we were kids, you know.
Yeah.
I don't even think any adult that I knew when I was a child had a cell phone. I don't like honestly until like obviously like in like it was like 3rd grade maybe is like when I first noticed maybe everybody had cell phones, but maybe I don't know, but I was also not. I didn't come from like a wealthy family or nothing like that. So, just imagine our technology. Well, like, let's just go off of video games. We all grew up like what? 64, Super Nintendo, fucking NES, you know, like we all had those. Now just imagine those games like when we were a kid, we thought that was the illest shit, you know, we thought that was the fucking dopest shit out there right now. But now look at our games right now. We have Call of Duty, you know, fucking thousands of fucking people playing.
That's what I was talking about when it came to the whole Roswell thing. It's like, dude, technology would spike if we had all that shit at our fingertips.
And that's what did happen after that. There was a big technology spike. So I believe that's
not the way it should have been, I think.
What do you mean?
Well, there's a big difference between N64 and PlayStation 3 and traveling light years. There's a big difference.
No, we're just talking about in our lifespans, Matthew. Like the advancement of our technology.
What I was trying to say is people that believe in Roswell, but also believe that aliens at Roswell, but believe that the moon landing is fake. It's like you're telling me that you believe that. Whatever, that we couldn't reverse engineer any of that and couldn't just get to the moon.
Yeah,
like it makes no sense. Two theories contradicting. They contradict.
You
can't believe in both. It's either one or the other.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like
if you believe that there's aliens,
it's either, and if you believe in both, if you believe in both, and you just believe that that we're too stupid to fucking
or you just legit believe that any conspiracy that comes to your ear, it's like, oh, that's got to be real because
I do have to head out, but
let's wrap this up. Matthew, you're supposed to do the closer.
Thanks for tuning in to this Moonspiracy of an episode. Next week, we are going to be talking about the infamous Bigfoot, and I will show you a foot or two.